Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, one of the best boxers we got, right? One of the best boxers we got, but nobody paying attention to him, right? Typical, you know. He's one of them Negro League fighters. He'd join the club. And that'll be Jermaine Ortiz. Coming off a devastating win, round 4 KO of Christian Mino, right? His rehabilitation fight after losing to Teofimo Lopez. I'm just going to go out here on a limb and say I think it's the best fighter in the 140 pounds, right? Then I'm going to explain why I think that. 140 pounds, right? When you're putting everything in a nutshell, you're looking at it. Jermaine Ortiz is somebody who, let's be real, I think he's better than Teofimo Lopez, and I think he's better than Lomachenko. So that would put him in the upper echelon, now would it? Now, the Devin Haney's of the world ain't going to be making 140. The Regis Prograis of the world, I think Jermaine Ortiz takes him out. Josh Taylor ain't there no more, right? So the only one that's, was in the conversation up big like that is Jack Catterall. Right? And that'll be a damn good fight, Jermaine Ortiz against Jack Catterall. Let's make this clear. Jermaine Ortiz outboxed Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is considered very, very good. He outboxed him, right? But when he outboxed him, then we act like, well, he should have stood in the pocket and all that. That's what we do to black fighters. But he shouldn't be able to outbox a young 24-year-old Teofimo Lopez who can move, should be able to cut off the ring, young. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be able to do that, but he was. He outboxed Lomachenko to a close fight. Now, for those who say, well, he didn't win or this and that, you're going to have to say it was close. We're going to have to meet it close by both fights. But he beat Teofimo Lopez. I don't even think that was that close. He beat him. And Lomachenko, I scored the fight. And I watched it twice trying to figure out what you're giving Lomachenko. But what they do is they do the thing that Trump does. Just say it, keep saying it all the time. And things you're just gonna believe it after a while. Like they were saying Jermaine Ortiz against Teofimo against your boy Lomachenko. Well, the end of the fight, the last rounds, Lomachenko came on. So why don't you just watch the last rounds? Right? Watch round 8 to 12. Right? And don't watch the other stuff. The rounds that Lomachenko came on, go back and watch those and then holler back at me. It's the same thing they did to Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, who wasn't staying in the pocket, who was, on his back foot against Deontay Wilder. But at the end of the fight, after being knocked down twice, they said he won the fight, right? And they were like, well, all the rounds, right, that Deontay Wilder knocked him down, the ones he didn't knock down, they said all those rounds Tyson Fury won. So why don't you go and watch those rounds that he didn't get knocked down, like from round 1 to 6, and tell me that you say Tyson Fury won all of those rounds from 1 to 6. And while you're doing that, remember, putting your hands behind your back or sticking your chin out are not points. Just remember that, right? While you're scoring, right? Jabs to the body count. When you do that, go score the fight. And tell me that Tyson Fury won all those rounds, because his face didn't look like it after the fight. So, Jermaine Ortiz, best guy at 140 pounds. Somebody proved different. Lomachenko, rematch him. Teofimo Lopez, rematch him. It won't happen, right? And I'm just sick of guys like this being obviously good and having to take those so-called losses, having to rebuild, go back to their families after normally winning, earn less money, other people in the news like they're better than him, and he's in the ring with them and knows that they're not. And he has to go back, come back, and now you know what he did? He's like, well, I don't want it to go to the scorecards anymore. So they're making these great athletes, oh, well, you better stand in the pocket and try to knock people out. That's not boxing, but he's trying to do that instead of being like, wait a minute, I'm taking these scorecards to the court or something. We got people taking dumb stuff to court that ain't even true, right? Brothers, take the people to court, make these people watch this fight, make people watch these fights. You're obviously winning these damn fights, right? Jermaine Ortiz, baddest dude at 140 pounds. If you don't believe it, somebody do something about it. That's the guy. You'll see he won't get no fights. right? I'm sick of people, these great fighters acting like we just act like other ones are better, right? We saw what happened with Teofimo Lopez. I mean, Sandor Martin too, but we saw this and with Lomachenko. So he's right there, and ain't none of them gonna fight him again. And we act like we don't know who this is. Then he comes back, stops somebody. Now he thinks he's got to go around stopping everybody. No, you don't. Actually, you just got to beat somebody, get the W, right? I remember fights. I remember when Anthony Joshua came back, for example, big heavyweight guy who's known for running, for front footing people and knocking them out, right? Andy Ruiz knocked his ass out. What happens next fight? He gets tiptoeing through the tulips and winning the fight. I don't roll with Anthony Joshua, but I'm rolled with that. Do what you got to do to win the damn fight. Get that W, bro. All that. I'm rough and tough, and I'm gonna come in here and knock you out. Sometimes that doesn't work with every opponent. Now, Jermaine Ortiz is going like I can back foot. Now he's gonna show you what he can do on the front foot, which means to me, best guy at that division till somebody proves otherwise. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm about here, y'all.